आपको कितने साल हो गए अभी रियल एस्टेट ज्वाइन की?
4-5 years.
4-5 years. You know, you're not talking like a 4-5 year experienced person. You're talking like somebody जिसको 20 साल का experience हो चुका है. Developer family.
Till a great extent.
अच्छा.
Till a great extent.
Your university was in Canada.
Was in Canada, yes. Okay. I studied at University of Toronto. Okay. That's where I spent my time.
I remember very well. एक बार masterpiece में मैं आया. I think जब masterpiece के वो 5 floor और ऊपर उन्होंने डालने थे. So I think you were given a project inside of that.
There was some kind of restructuring that was being done in terms of how to strengthen the building.
एक कंपनी जिसने millions of square feet delivered किया worldwide. उनका third generation 150 square feet के
was right there in your education, right? And you know, with these universities, what also happens is that when you're an international student, in the first 1 or 2 years,
Tier 2 की आप बात कर रहे हो कि Tier 2 की story बहुत strong है. 2020 के बाद ऐसा क्या हुआ है Tier 2 में that the story is strong?
See, one of the things that I would say, which is a major factor that I find,
जो roads infrastructure की बात,
be it roads, be it railway stations, be it airports,
is now 3 hours away.
Is only 3 hours away, 4 hours away, 5 hours away, right? That 10 became 5.
पंजाब के लोग तो सारा टाइम रोड पे.
Exactly. They love to travel by road.
यहाँ पे भी होना चाहिए आपको, यहाँ के प्रोजेक्ट्स देखने चाहिए. आपको मिस नहीं होता ऐसे कि यार वहाँ पे क्यों हूँ मैं?
See, I would say that when you are early in this journey,
is that the reason you go there? Because you have a complete team there.
Exactly. So that's one of the major reasons.
Brothers over here and
the brothers here and brothers there.
Given you focus on Punjab, तो गुड़गांव के मार्केट पे टैब रखते हो? मतलब गुड़गांव के मार्केट में इंटरेस्ट रखते हो? मतलब जानते हो क्या हो रहा है?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
सब कुछ पता है क्या हो रहा है. AIPL से पूरी मार्केट की कंप्लेंट है कि आपने अभी तक यहाँ रेजिडेंशियल और लॉन्च क्यों नहीं किए गुड़गांव में?
I feel that till a great extent, I was happy in my own small room in my dormitory.
Okay.
You know, in the university. That was my comfort. Like I didn't want my big room in India.
कितना बड़ा रूम था वो? वेलकम टू पॉडकास्ट बाय स्पेस क्रिएटर्स. आज का एपिसोड बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. सबसे पहली चीज़, आज के एपिसोड में मुझे नहीं पता आप लोग क्या देखेंगे, बट मैंने बहुत सीखा ये एपिसोड शूट करते वक्त. आज हमारे साथ एक थर्ड जनरेशन डेवलपर है. वी हैव शमशीर सिंह, हु इज़ डायरेक्टर एडवांस इंडिया प्रोजेक्ट्स लिमिटेड. एडवांस इंडिया प्रोजेक्ट्स लिमिटेड एक कंपनी है जिनके कम से कम 10-12 डिफरेंट सिटीज़ में प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं. हर तरह के टाउनशिप्स हैं, इनके कमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, इनके रिटेल प्रोडक्ट्स हैं. तो इस पॉडकास्ट में व्हाट यू लर्न इज़ कि थर्ड जनरेशन होने के बावजूद ग्राउंडेड कैसे रहा जाता है, आप कैसे चैलेंजेस को फेस करते हैं, कैसे एक एजुकेशन जो आपने की थी उसका प्रेशर आपके लिए यूज़फुल होता है आपके बिजनेस करने में, और एक डेवलपर का विजन क्या होता है, वो प्रोडक्ट कैसे सिलेक्ट करता है. एडवाइस नए डेवलपर्स के लिए भी है इस पॉडकास्ट में. एंड यू विल ऑल्सो गेट टू नो दैट हाउ अ फैमिली बिजनेस, when it is built on the right principles, can grow and feed generations. So let's hear this from Shamsheer Singh. Welcome, Shamsheer.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.
So it's a pleasure having, this is the first podcast where we are having a third generation developer with us.
Oh, lovely.
So Rachpal ji ने ये काम शुरू किया था.
हाँ जी.
Back in, I think, 30 years back?
33 now, yes. 33 now. We just turned 33 very recently.
Very recent. And you're the third generation.
Yes.
तो एक बात बताओ शमशीर, like 33 तो आपकी एज भी नहीं है. So when you were born, you were already in a family of developers. So was it a compulsion? मतलब ज़रूरी था कि इसमें जाना है, or was it your personal choice? Just say something from there.
So to be honest, the way that we have been brought up in the family and with like a lot of brothers in the house, we've never been asked to follow a certain path that our families wanted us to follow. We've always we've always had that open ground that there are some standards that you should have in your life, like in terms of health, in terms of spiritual things, in terms of working hard and all those things. But not a compulsion that, you have to be a part of the business in the future.
Okay.
There is always a great learning that we have from them, because in a business family at the dinner table, you always have business discussions.
Okay.
That's something that we have had throughout.
Your father and uncle used to bring, and grandfather used to bring business home.
Always. Always. And sometimes, what happens is that even if you don't want to talk about it, there would be some update from that day that you would like to, because, at work, we generally don't get to interact with each other.
Okay. Sab apna,
they're handling their own thing. Yes, we do have those kind of joint meetings. Yes, we have all of that. But somewhere everyone is occupied in their own operational work that they are essentially handling, and it's like a teamwork.
Okay.
So generally we don't get to interact a lot at work. So hence when we come back at home, we tend to bring up something from that day. Could be a high point, could be a low point that we generally talk to each other about.
Okay. But when you were growing up as a child, you spent all your childhood in Delhi?
I did, yes.
Okay. So at that time, how was it? मतलब घर पे जब ये सब बात होती थी, how was it for you? So were you like you started looking at your father or grandfather as an idol, or what happened? What was it?
Yeah, yes, always. The things that they have been following in their life overall, not from a real estate perspective, but overall being in the business world, some standards and all that. Like the way that you should treat, say, the way that you should kind of develop a product, the kind of thought process that you need to kind of put in to, give a good quality product in the market.
जैसे क्या thought process?
The thought process of making sure that when you are building, see, real estate for us is like the building is our kind of like a product.
Okay.
Right. It's not a financial model that we are selling. It's not nothing like that. At the end of the day, we think from a perspective that if we are delivering a building, what is the end consumer going to use it for?
Okay.
And how is it going to impact their life?
Okay.
Now that could be a retail development, that could be a commercial office development, it could be a residential development, because what happens is that during real estate, when you are essentially launching a product which is not built on ground, you're talking on speculation. You're showing a vision to the customer. I'm showing you a product. It is going to have these kind of specifications. It is going to have these kind of views. It is going to have these kind of tenants and XYZ things. But there will be a period of 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever the size of the project is, right? Where the project is under construction.
Okay.
Right. जो एक्चुअल जो प्रोडक्ट है ना, जो आपने उसको विजन बेची थी बिगिनिंग में,
वो 5 साल बाद
रेडी होगी. जो आपने व्यूज बोले, जो आपने टेनेंट्स बोले, whatever it could be, right? So essentially we have to somewhere make sure that the experience that the end consumer is going to get after 3, 4, 5 years is the same one that you committed at the time of launching or selling or whatever, right? So that is something that we have always, like our families have tried to kind of focus upon. That what is our end consumer going to use it like, and that is how we try to also design the product.
Very good. आपको कितने साल हो गए अभी रियल एस्टेट ज्वाइन किए?
4-5 years.
4-5 years. You're not talking like a 4-5 year experienced person. You're talking like somebody जिसको 20 साल का experience हो चुका है.
No, it's good that no, thank you for that. It's
Is it because of the growing up in the developer family?
Till a great extent.
Acha.
Till a great extent. One thing that I'd like to share is that, during my university time also.
Your university was in Canada? Was in Canada,
yes. Okay. I studied at University of Toronto.
Okay.
That's where I spent my time. So we have this summer break, right? Where we come back for about 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
And during those 3-4 months, I used to do internship at my own office, right?
At AIPL?
At AIPL.
In Gurgaon?
In Gurgaon, yes. At our earlier office, which was in Masterpiece. Now, my internship wasn't that I'm going to sit in a director's room or a promoter's room and people are going to come to me and they're going to tell me about things. It was never like that, right?
So what did
I remember my thing was that like during my, every 4 months this used to happen, right? For 4 years. I used to come back and I used to sit with, like every time I used to sit with a new department.
Okay.
And I used to sit with them.
Okay. You used to sit inside their office.
I used to sit inside their office and I used to be assigned one person who used to take care of me. Take care of me in the sense who used to make me sit with them, explain me ki wo kya kar rahe hain. Like even to the extent that how a software is going to work.
Okay.
Like could be accounting software, could be a project software. Ki wo project, us account software will be how they are doing, say, entries, how they are putting all the data, how they are fetching data and all those things.
Okay.
So that is how my internship was. And I remember that, and this was the morning part of it a lot of times, and then I used to go to the sites.
In the second half.
In the second half, I used to sit at the site. Like I remember.
Site office में जाके.
हाँ, like I remember ये जो हमारी like this building that we have, right, AIPL Business Club. I've literally sat in the lobby and seen the marble being put.
Okay.
You know, the marble. Like I remember, like I have everything. I remember all those things. I was literally sitting there and seeing marble being poured and those things. So I feel that all those things also
have
actually
contributed.
Exactly. They contribute till a great extent in your overall knowledge. And I still feel like, of course, for me at this 4-5 year experience is still a very big learning journey, right? Every day you learn something new from everyone. From everyone, you know. And it's a good experience overall, you know, you keep on learning.
I remember very well, एक बार मास्टरपीस में मैं आया, I think जब मास्टरपीस के वो 5 फ्लोर और ऊपर उन्होंने डालने थे, तो I think you were given a project inside of that, कि ये कंस्ट्रक्शन कैसे होगी, या बेसमेंट के कुछ इश्यूज थे which you were looking after.
Yeah, I was a part of it at the time. There was some kind of restructuring that was being done in terms of how to strengthen the building. And that was going on. So it is always a great idea, because that's what I was like started with, right? This is our product.
Okay.
So if you want to do well, then you need to know your product.
Know your product and how it is built.
And how you can add, say, value, like when you are also, when you have an exposure of somewhere outside, right? Then how to bring that kind of exposure back to India also is something which I feel is our duty if you were privileged enough to spend time there.
Okay, you spent time in Toronto. When you were studying at that time, given you were doing internships beach mein, so you were clear you were going to join the business, or it was just an internship?
It was more of an internship.
Okay.
I was never clear till my 4th year also. I was never clear. During COVID, I came back. And till that time also, I wasn't clear.
So you wanted to do some other work?
I was exploring.
Achha, you were exploring.
I was exploring that what can we add to our portfolio. Like it would have, like whatever there would be, it would be in addition to the AIPL portfolio. But how to also maybe do something different. You know, my younger brothers, one is into gaming.
Yeah.
So he's studying game design.
Game designing.
He's doing bachelor's in game designing.
Your real brother?
My first cousin. We have a joint family, so we're very close to each other.
So how many people from the family? कितने लोग हैं जो business में हैं अभी?
So we have about 6-7 people.
6-7.
A lot of our brothers we are all together. So my real younger brother, he's studying capital markets.
Okay.
You know, so he's going that way.
Okay.
Other younger brother is studying game design. And he wants to be into game designing. So essentially that is how we feel that if you have different
तो वो लोग
hands,
आएंगे development business में या नहीं?
Don't know. Don't know yet. And we even haven't asked them to.
Okay.
It is their wish. If they find...
So जब वो आते हैं वो internship करते हैं AIPL में?
नहीं.
वो नहीं करते?
नहीं. Because they are following their own path.
Okay.
They would keep on exploring about their own journey.
And given AIPL has presence in Canada also, okay, and I think 2 of your brothers are taking care of projects in Canada. तो आपका मन नहीं किया कि कनाडा में कर लूँ मैं काम?
See, that did struck me at that time.
Because you studied there, na?
Yes. So that was something which was a very easy decision for me, since I was anyways there. And when you have spent, I say, 4-5 years there, and most of your time is there, and then the rest little bit is in India, I feel that that becomes a new normal for you.
Okay.
You know, and this becomes something of a different culture.
Different culture.
Although
वो हो जाता है normally different culture.
That becomes exactly. So for me, what I've always experienced in my lifetime is that, like, during those 4-5 years, right, when I was there, I became super independent.
Okay.
Super independent from a perspective that I was happy in my own small room in my dormitory, in the university. That was my comfort. Like I didn't want my big room in India.
कितना बड़ा room था वो?
उसमें there was like a single bed, right? There was a small closet where everything had to be stuffed in, right? Very small space, like probably half than this, and there was a study table, small half study table. That's about it. And मतलब चलने वाली जगह भी नहीं थी.
150 square feet का होगा.
Maximum 150 square feet and there was a lot to stuff in.
एक कंपनी जिसने मिलियंस ऑफ स्क्वायर फीट डिलीवर्ड किया वर्ल्ड वाइड, उनका थर्ड जनरेशन 150 स्क्वायर फीट के.
Exactly. And that was how the dormitory was, right?
अच्छा.
Like in
And
the,
you used to love it.
I used to love it.
हाँ.
Matlab, that was I feel that was the best thing ever. When I used to come back to India, right, my room was much larger than
10
that.
times than that.
10 times than that, right? Probably my washroom is larger than my room right now. But that was still a very good experience. Because you were independent. You didn't want anything else. Like it was your focus was right there in your education, right? And you know, with these universities, what also happens is that when you're an international student, in the first 1 or 2 years, it's compulsory for you to live inside the campus.
अच्छा.
Right? Live inside the campus and also use their own
वहाँ
means.
ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, वही साइज मिलेगा.
वो मिलेगा. But sometimes, you know, the biggest convenient aspect of it also is that your classes are nearby, you're living in the university, your friends are there. That also helps you make a lot of friends because as an international student, you're new to that city, you're new to that country.
Okay.
So when in a space when there are other people also who are new, you get to interact with them because everyone is open.
Okay.
Because you don't have any friends there, I don't have any friends there. So we're open to conversing. You know, so if I see you there in the cafeteria on the ground floor, I'll be happy to go to your table if you're sitting alone.
Do you miss it?
I do a lot of times. I do a lot of
So
times.
what made you come back?
So see, when I decided to come back, one of the major reasons was also the growth story of India.
Growth story of India.
The growth story of India.
This was in 2020.
This was in 2020.
Okay.
So during that time also, so India has been growing over the last couple of years, right? But since 2020, it has grown exponentially.
Exponentially, yes.
Right? In terms of the percentage of GDP growth as well, every year that we have is the highest.
Highest.
Right? We've
Year after year, it's highest.
Year after year, and it's increasing, right? So I feel that as a individual as well, I got to enter this market at the right time, in the best time, when you can do so much more.
So much more.
And in terms of, as I was saying, that, you know, within those 4-5 years when I was outside also, and, you know, I got to experience that, sometimes, a lot of times, this used to come to my mind that I'm seeing this here, I'm experiencing this here.
And what is
this? India mein bhi chalega.
Ye this kya hai?
See, retail developments, residential developments. You go to those retail developments outside.
In Canada.
In Canada, you go to Toronto downtown. You know, you go to residential developments. The way the services are, the kind of units are there. Although there is a difference in the product also, because there people are happy with very small apartments. If you're living in downtown, here people want that sense of space, larger apartments and all that. But somewhere you still get to learn and you think, यार,
अगर मैं इंडिया में ले आऊँ,
हाँ, अगर मैं इंडिया में ले आऊँ, तो क्या चलेगा ये?
हाँ.
You know? And why do we also go out? You know, when people travel in and around the world and all that, is to experience all those things. Experience all those things in that atmosphere as well. You know, that is also something that makes a great impact. So if we all work with that mindset of bringing those kind of developments and creating that kind of atmosphere as well, then I'm pretty sure that we would not like to go anywhere else than in India. Is that the reason that you're taking care of your largest township, which is in Ludhiana, about 600 acres? One of the reasons, yes. Yes.
Because you can do so much more.
You can do so much. You're actually, inhabiting a city. You know, you get to play around with so much area that you can actually build that lifestyle for a person. Because when you are in Gurgaon, you get to play around with say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 acres, right? इससे ज़्यादा क्या खेल लोगे इससे ज़्यादा? When you're sitting in this prime, all these spots, right? Now, what you can do is that you can create a great product within those 5, 10, 15 acres. But what do you do with the surroundings?
कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
You cannot control it. I don't know what is coming on the right side, or what is coming on the left side, how my approach is and all those things. I don't know. Right? And I don't have any control on that.
Yeah.
I build maybe a tower, and tomorrow if someone builds a not so great development on the next door,
it does impact.
But when you're playing around with 400, 500, 600 acres, you are essentially getting to control your overall environment that the person is going to be having. Like if you launch high rise, you know that what is your view going to be, because you are also the one who is controlling the other aspect of it.
Yeah.
On the other side.
नाउ टेल मी वन थिंग, जब ज्वाइन किया फैमिली बिजनेस, हो गया डिसीजन, आ गए, तब पता था कि पंजाब जाओगे या उसके बाद डिसीजन हुआ? एंड वाज इट योर डिसीजन और?
So, in terms of Punjab, we started investing somewhere around 2008, 2009.
Amritsar kiya aapne,
Amritsar, when we,
फिर,
exactly. So we started off from Amritsar. That's our first township that we did, Dream City Amritsar, in about 150 acres. After that, we went to Khanna. We did a township.
Another 100 acres, I think.
Yeah, almost 100. So we did a township in Khanna. We did a retail development in Khanna. Then we did another township in Amritsar, which this was Dream City next to Amritsar. Then we did this. Then this is the one that we're doing, right? AIPL Dream City Ludhiana. Punjab story has been going on for AIPL, but of course we have started investing more towards
now.
Punjab. Exactly. Since the last about I would say about
5 years.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5 years. Because we are seeing a great potential in the tier 2 cities as well.
Okay.
So somewhere, since our structure, our overall brand had been created in Gurgaon and has been here, so the idea was to start focusing at the same time more in Punjab also, so that you can focus there and kind of bring those products in that market.
So tier 2 की आप बात कर रहे हो कि tier 2 की story बहुत strong है. 2020 के बाद ऐसा क्या हुआ है tier 2 में that the story is strong? और कितनी strong है? मतलब कोई invest करे तो क्या appreciation है tier 2 में?
See, one of the things that I would say, which is a major factor that I find, is the way that the infrastructure in our country is getting built.
Okay. जो roads infrastructure की बात
Be it roads, be it railway stations, be it airports. Not a lot of airports have come in, not a lot of railway stations have come in. They are in the making. A lot of development is happening. Roads have been built
brilliantly
till a great extent. What happened essentially was that areas which were about 8, 9, 10 hours away with so much hassle
is now 3 hours away.
Is only 3 hours away, 4 hours away, 5 hours away, right? That 10 became 5, that 7 became 4, that 5 became 3. It's that kind of a concept. And people in Punjab also, they love to travel by road.
They love to. Punjab के लोग तो सारा time road पे.
Exactly. They love to travel by road. They would rather prefer going by road than flights.
हाँ.
Because they know, like what I understood from that mindset also, because I am a person who
prefers flights.
I prefer flights.
Huh.
I prefer flights. I can take a flight early. I generally have flights early in the morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. When I travel to Punjab, and my night flights are also 9:30, 10:30. So I have a full day there, and I can spend maximum time there. But what I could understand from their mindset is that they have a comfort of leaving their space or place whenever that they want to. They're not restricted कि मेरे को एक फ्लाइट लेनी पड़ेगी, मेरे को एयरपोर्ट जाना पड़ेगा.
उनको ये जब निकलना है गाड़ी ली, और
जब निकलना है गाड़ी ली, and I am to myself, like I have that comfort कि मेरे को 1 बजे निकलना, I can leave there, I want to leave in the evening. So that's their one of the things that I found. And also that homely feel. Because when you are essentially traveling with your own car, your own driver, whatever it is,
कुछ भी रख सकते हो गाड़ी में.
कुछ भी रख सकते हो. You have that comfort, and when you are even entering that different city, you still have something that you brought along with you, which is a comforting factor. You have your own car, maybe you have your own driver, which you also get to see there. Whereas if you take a flight, then everything is new.
Everything is new all the time.
Everything is new. So that is what at least that's my perspective. So that is why we've been focusing a lot there, and infrastructure wise, since that timeline has reduced till a great extent, so people have started finding it easier to travel there. If people are traveling there more often, or it's become easier for them, economic activity has to happen. That has to increase.
कितनी growth हुई है tier 2 cities में?
So
और पंजाब में कितनी हुई है?
So recently I read a report, I think this was by Prop Equity or something, in which they had a list of top 30 cities in India in terms of tier 2 cities, which had the maximum growth. Ludhiana was number 3.
Number 3. कितनी growth हुई है?
89%.
89%. In 3 years.
In 3 years.
Wow.
And there was Mohali on the list, there was Chandigarh on the list, and there was Amritsar on the list.
जो प्रॉपर्टी 1 करोड़ की थी वो 1 crore 89 lakhs की हो गई.
Exactly.
In 3 years.
In 3 years. And for that state and for those particular cities as well, I feel that it's a great achievement.
Okay.
Because this also validates what you have been experiencing over the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Okay.
That there is a demand, right? People are focusing on that area, and there is appreciation to happen.
ओके और ये सिर्फ लुधियाना में है या और सिटीज में भी है? आई थिंक यू गाइज आर इन जलंधर ऑल्सो.
We are in Jalandhar. We did launch a project in Jalandhar recently called AIPL Joy Street Jalandhar. We're building SEOs there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere in
Punjab.
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me one thing. एक सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन मेरे को बहुत बार स्ट्राइक होता है कि पंजाब के बहुत सारे लोग गुड़गांव में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. अब वो तो हमें पता है क्यों इन्वेस्ट करते हैं. गुड़गांव इज द आई वुड से रियल एस्टेट कैपिटल ऑफ द कंट्री और लास्ट 35 ईयर से ईयर ऑन ईयर रिटर्न दिए, हर बार रिटर्न दिए. गुड़गांव के लोग अगर पंजाब में इन्वेस्ट करें तो उनका कोई बेनिफिट है? करना चाहिए?
Absolutely.
एंड व्हाई इज दैट रीजन बताओ.
So one of the main reasons is the kind of margins that you can make, because I feel that the way that these markets, the tier 1 markets have matured, those markets still haven't matured at that level.
अच्छा.
There is growth happening, but there is still a lot of room for growth.
A lot of room for
growth. So whatever you are investing, you will probably get, in terms of percentage, you can get higher returns also in those markets if you are, of course, investing in the right product at the right time.
Okay. And which are these markets you would suggest?
So I would say Ludhiana is a great market.
Okay.
Right. Tri-City is a great market, right, where you have Chandigarh, Mohali, and Panchkula and all that. Jalandhar is a great market, and Amritsar is a great market.
And what will grow more over there, residential or commercial?
I feel residential and commercial. In terms of commercial, I would say retail.
Okay.
Right. Offices, there's not a great demand in Punjab because people have in terms of the culture, people would rather prefer working from a SEO.
Okay.
Which works really well in Punjab than having a tall building.
Okay.
And having an office in that kind of a space, right?
Okay.
Looking at AIPL's experience, we have built a lot of commercial offices. Right? That's what our main
core forte is.
Exactly, our core forte is. So it would be really easy for us to build something
over there, but you're not.
But we are not focusing on that product because we feel that at the moment it doesn't have that kind of a demand. We might come up with something in the future, but that would also be to have something there.
Okay.
That
just as a mark.
Just as a mark, like since we are into this is our core thing, so we want to have something there.
Otherwise, plots, villas are the thing which are
plots, villas, and over the last 3 to 5 years, even high-rise apartments have had a great requirement in.
So high-rise is going to do well in Punjab now?
In some of the cities, yes. There is appreciation. There have been a lot of launches. There have been a lot of deliveries. And people have started accepting the product.
Now, जो deliver हो गए उसमें move in शुरू हो गए लोगों के.
Absolutely. And I feel that, one of the main reasons that there is an acceptability of high-rise there is because of the reason of exposure to the Western world.
Acha.
Because what is happening is that in Punjab, we know that over the last couple of years, there has been a lot of immigration. Right, that has happened between Punjab and Canada, especially. Be it Canada, UK, US,
Australia,
everywhere. Right, Indians are penetrating everywhere. Right. Even the most recent one, right? Maybe we could have a part Indian president of the US, in the future. You never know.
Right? I know.
So now, considering that, when you have an exposure to the Western culture, so when say parents are living here and their children are essentially living in Canada or UK or whatever, now they are getting used to that kind of a culture, living in an apartment.
वो वापस आके बोलते हैं हमें भी चाहिए.
Exactly. So when they come back to India, because everyone essentially a lot of times they stay connected to their roots. Right?
Yes.
They still probably once a year, twice a year, or maybe once in 2 years, they would want to come back. When they come back, they would be here for a month, 2 months, or 3 months, right? So then they want to have that kind of experience here as well. And it becomes easier for these people also to take a decision to buy an apartment here if you are buying in the right place, in an organized development, right? Because it also makes it easier for them to travel. That apartment mein you don't have to think about anything. You just lock your door, you leave, right? If you we have something planned over the next couple of months where we are also planning to give those kind of services to the people that even if you're not there, our
apartments will be taken care of.
Apartments will be taken care of. It'll be cleaned X days a week. Whenever you come back, You know, if you want to have home cooked food, that will be provided to you. You don't have to worry about hiring a person to, you know, for that 30 days, because these are some things which are required for the people, right? That is how you'll make it easier for them to stay there or live there, or make that experience more, you know, homely when they come back. So those are some of the things. So I feel that because of that kind of an exposure as well,
that is why all this happens.
That is why the acceptability is also coming here, and you know, and that is the reason that the demand is kind of going there.
Tell me one thing, AIPL as far as I know in entire Gurgaon अपने सारे construction sites में सारे लेबर के लिए हर रोज लंगर देता है, तो पंजाब में भी देता है
100%.
100%.
This is something that we do even before the construction starts.
अच्छा.
So even before we start the construction, we have to make sure that there is a proper kitchen setup. Right?
अच्छा.
Yeah.
तो पंजाब लुधियाना में अलग है, अमृतसर में अलग है.
Everywhere is a different thing.
Okay.
And we make sure that depending on the kind of requirement that we're going to be having in terms of the construction, right, the kind of people who will be there, that is our prerequisite. So
वो करना ही है.
वो करना ही है. That is something that has been going on since years, and that is something that has been taken by us as our
Canada
duty. So there also we in fact done it. You know, it's a funny story. So a couple of years ago, my elder brother, he was mentioning we were doing some work in Canada, right?
Project, you were doing a project.
Yeah.
कहाँ पे? Toronto में.
Hanji. So he was telling me that that time I wasn't there. I was in India, and that time he was telling me that, you know, today. For the staff that there was working there, you know, we took, so that day he took Timbits from Tim Hortons.
Okay.
Those small cakes kind of thing.
Okay.
Right. And he took coffees.
Okay.
For everyone. There we don't have this kind of a concept where we are feeding
kitchen
this kind of a kitchen, because here we feel that in India the requirement is very high, right? Because the requirement is more exactly. So that is one of the reasons. But our idea is that wherever in the world we are, this is something like a prerequisite कि तो हमें करना ही है before you even start a construction at the site.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
To take care of the people who are going along with you, and they're helping you create your business.
अब एक personal question, Gurgaon Millennium City, you are born brought up in Delhi. यहाँ पे इतने projects हैं आपके, और बहुत सारे और projects भी लाओगे. Now traveling every week I think you go to Punjab. And you're there for 2-3 days, 4 days.
Yes.
Okay. Now going to Punjab, now Gurgaon, and working on those projects, don't you feel कि यहाँ पे भी होना चाहिए आपको, and यहाँ के projects देखने चाहिए? आपको miss नहीं होता ऐसे कि यार वहाँ पे क्यों हूँ मैं?
नहीं, because of
prime ये है, वो prime नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं आता thought?
See, I would say that when you are early in this journey, any learning that you can get, you should grasp it.
Okay.
I feel.
Okay.
At this moment, I won't say that, you know, I need to be here. I spend more time there.
Okay.
Because I feel that this is the time to learn.
Learn.
The experience that I'm also getting there, interacting with the people, the kind of developments that we're doing, everything is a learning, right?
Okay.
And we are trying to build something very passionately, because we feel that if our company is trying to take up this duty of delivering these kind of assets here, why not in tier 2, right?
Especially Dream City, Ludhiana.
Especially that, you know, there is a requirement. Like we are doing retail there, we are doing plotted developments there, we are doing high rise there, right? So these things are.
उसमें कितने budget में कोई invest कर सकता है?
You can invest from say 50 lakhs till say whatever that you want to
upward. So if somebody has 50 lakhs, can invest in Dream City Ludhiana.
Yes, absolutely. Because in Dream City Ludhiana, because of the expanse of the project, right, we have a variety of options. And the best part is that the kind of variety that we have, everything is consolidated as per their own sizes in that particular area. Like there is a pocket for each kind of a.
अच्छा हर जगह पे pockets हैं.
हर जगह पे exactly. So there is, you can consider it like a tree, and it has like a lot of stems.
Okay.
Right. Now the tree is the common part, right? But the stems are different. Like one stem could be having say only 200 square area plots.
Okay.
The other one could have only say 500 square area plots.
And there are floors also over there?
There we have floors.
Floors
yes.
also.
There we have floors as well. So essentially when you are inhabiting a city, right, you need to have a variety of products.
तो ये 600 एकड़ ही रहेगी या बढ़ेगी?
So it's about 500 right now.
हाँ.
And we might expand it.
Okay.
That could happen in the future. But you never know.
You never know. Okay. Now, what is the difference between the Gurgaon market and Ludhiana market from like how channel partners perceive you or what customers want? Do you see any difference?
Yes. The biggest difference that we see essentially between both the markets is that Punjab market is a very close-knit market.
Okay.
It's a very, very close-knit market. There, if you see, there are not a lot of organized
developers.
Yeah, large-scale developers, right? There are mostly local developers who essentially know anyone and everyone in the city.
Okay.
And whoever is even investing in that particular product,
they're investing in that person.
They're investing in that person.
हाँ.
They don't care about the company. हाँ. They might not care a lot about the product.
शायद उनको ब्रांड का नाम भी ना पता हो.
Exactly. But उनको ये पता है कि वो बना रहे हैं ना तो मैं उठे में अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है. Is that kind of a concept? हाँ. So they know that they have a face.
मैं बंदे से पैसा ला रहे हैं.
मैं बंदे exactly. हाँ. And there is a product, right? हाँ. But I know that tomorrow, so they won't rely a lot on the documentation and all those things, right? For them, it's the trust aspect.
Okay.
They will give you the money.
Pure trust.
Pure trust. They'll give you the money, right? And they know that I know this person, right? Tomorrow, if anything goes wrong, he'll be approachable. Exactly. He or she, they'll be approachable. They'll be there. I can tell them whatever needs to be done. And
is that the reason you go there? Because you have a complete team there.
Exactly. So that's one of the major reasons. Because they always need to know.
The promoter.
Exactly. They need to have some kind of a face. So I go there. I meet a lot of people, right? I don't interact with them daily. I cannot do that, right? Because of multiple things going in multiple areas. But they know that if ever they want to talk to me, they can. I'm approachable. So that is something that we also find is very important. Is that
especially in Punjab. Gurgaon में तो लोग brand देखते हैं. They are not worried about कि हम promoter को जानते हैं नहीं जानते. वो बोल रहे हैं यहाँ DLF है, AIPL है. वो brand देखेंगे और पैसे लगाएंगे.
Right. So there they would want to have that trust on the brand, but at the same time, they would want to know the face so that they can contact you whenever need be. So it's a very closed-knit market.
और वो contact कितना करते हैं? बहुत कम.
बहुत कम. मैं वही बोला ना, like they won't try to talk to you every day because they also understand that. But they know that you exist.
They know that you exist.
They know that you exist.
And you keep visiting there. वो उसमें भी खुश हो जाते हैं कि ये हफ्ते में 2 बार आता है, 3 बार आता है.
100%.
चाहे वो मिले ना मिले, उसमें वो खुश हो जाते हैं.
Exactly. उनको ये पता चलता है कि आ गए.
हाँ. अच्छा उनको पता चल जाता है.
उनको पता चल जाता है. But they're very happy. That the project is being taken care of. We are being taken care of. The project is getting developed. We are getting our deliveries. We're getting our possessions. We're getting all these things. So that is something that I feel that we also appreciate that. Why not? At the end of the day, you are trying to build something for them.
And they must be coming up with their suggestions also.
Absolutely.
ऐसे कर लो, वैसे कर लो, उस रोड पे ये पेड़ लगा दो.
हाँ, exactly. That is something that happens a lot.
मैं आपको ये idea दे रहा हूँ, वैसे बना लो, वैसे. They come up with, and those ideas are useful.
A lot of times, yes. Because.
And do you make changes according to
100%. I am very receptive to feedback.
Okay.
Very, very receptive. Because
you have complete control on the Ludhiana project?
Yes. So
if you'll make a change, your father or
they trust me.
They say kar lo.
They trust me completely. They don't ask me a lot of things about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. They know that they'll keep on taking updates. Right?
But in इतने छोटे time में trust कैसे आपने capture कर लिया इनका?
I feel that, see, usme, like I was mentioning that, when we have those high points and low points as well, we have very regular discussions.
Okay.
Where we keep on updating.
Okay.
So they keep on getting to get updated on a regular basis that what's happening and what's not happening. So they keep on guiding also.
Who does more guidance, your father or your uncle?
Both come with their own experiences. And I try to grasp as much as I can from them. I sit with my uncle a lot. I sit with my dad a lot. Learning about different parts of the business. So I'm actually getting consolidated knowledge.
Acha.
Across all the fronts. That is something that I appreciate.
And your brothers over here and
the brothers here and brothers there.
Okay.
So that is what I was kind of saying that, this is a time period where I feel that you have to grasp as much as you can from everyone. Not only from your own family, but from everyone.
Now, गिवन यू फोकस इन ऑन पंजाब, तो गुड़गांव के मार्केट पे टैब रखते हो? मतलब गुड़गांव के मार्केट में इंटरेस्ट रखते हो? मतलब जानते हो क्या हो रहा है? क्या
Absolutely, absolutely.
सब कुछ पता है क्या हो रहा है?
Till a great extent, see, यहाँ पे our headquarters is here, right? We operate out of here. And we have a lot of developments that are going on here, a lot of deliveries that have happened, a lot of deliveries that are going to happen. So somewhere we as an organization have to make sure that we are relevant everywhere, and we keep on grasping as much as we can, so that you can also start taking those decisions as well, like where to invest next, what to do next.
So you give inputs on Gurgaon market as well?
Yeah. So what happens that whatever learnings that I get from there, we see what can be applied here. Whatever learnings I get from there, we try to see what can be applied there. So like it's like a sharing of best practices. Something that you learn from there can be applied there. There can be applied here.
AIPL से पूरी मार्केट की कंप्लेंट है कि आपने अभी तक यहाँ रेजिडेंशियल और लॉन्च क्यों नहीं किए गुड़गांव में?
Right.
चाहे हाई राइज हो या प्लॉटेड हो. इन द लास्ट 4 years the market has been so great.
Right.
A lot of people have been waiting for residential from AIPL in this market.
Right.
तो वो अभी तक क्यों नहीं लॉन्च किया?
See, that is something that we are essentially considering right now.
Okay.
We have focused a lot on our deliveries. The projects that
Completion of projects.
The completion of projects, right?
Leasing of projects and
Completion, leasing. Like I was mentioning, that we want to make sure that whatever we start off, we end it in the right manner. Right. We don't want to leave anything half-heartedly.
Half-heartedly.
So something that, so we had like a lot of launches, of commercial and retail, offices and retail. So now we are essentially considering
residential.
Yes.
So are we going to see something very soon?
Maybe.
Maybe. Secretive रहते हो आप लोग. एक चीज़ और बताओ कि given you're going to launch something in Gurgaon, don't you think market has slowed down a bit? Will that impact your launch in Gurgaon?
I feel that till a great extent. Why I would say that we haven't even launched anything in residential is that we generally don't have FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Exactly. We generally don't have that.
अच्छा. पूरी family में किसी को नहीं है.
नहीं. Like we never have that. Like this happens with us like a lot of times. In Punjab also this happens with us a lot. Like 10 commercial projects launch हो गए, let's launch it quickly. इतने ये हो गया launch, let's launch it quickly. We never have that. Because our idea is always that if we are not ready with the product, in terms of the
conceptualization,
specifications,
अपने जो tick marks हैं वो
जो
पूरे
हमारे
नहीं
tick
हुए.
marks हैं, right? जब तक हमारे वो ready नहीं है ना, we'll never go out in the market. So that is something that we try to ensure. So we don't have FOMO that, there are 10 launches happening, so we have to be the 11th one who has to launch, and we have to, because we feel that if you focus on the product, then even if you're at a high point or a low point, you'll be successful.
Matter नहीं करेगा.
Then it won't matter to you.
ये पता है बहुत सारे लोग मिस आउट करते हैं. लोग क्या भूल जाते हैं मेरे अकॉर्डिंगली कि रियल एस्टेट एक लॉन्ग टर्म गेम है. मतलब आप 1 साल 2 साल 5 साल के लिए क्विक मनी के लिए नहीं आ सकते. एक लॉन्ग टर्म गेम है. हम जिस धरती पे बैठे हैं वो भी रियल एस्टेट है. कितने सालों से है. तो अगर कोई पॉइंट मिस भी हो गया, एक्चुअली आप कभी भी नहीं मिस कर रहे अगर आप राइट प्रोडक्ट पे जा रहे हो तो.
Absolutely. And real estate is something that you will come across real estate every day of your life.
हाँ.
Every day. हाँ. If you're sleeping in your house, that's real estate, right? If you are going to work, that's real estate. If you are traveling on roads, somewhere it's connected to real estate, right? Construction, only, same industry and all that. If you're working somewhere, it's real estate. So,
cinema is real estate. Cricket ground is real
exactly.
estate.
Tomorrow, if some kind of a toothpaste sells or not, or Coke does better, like in terms of a product, maybe sparkling water comes in. That's all something which is you're not dependent on it.
Yeah.
Real estate you're dependent on.
Yeah.
You will come across real estate every day.
फैक्ट्री भी तो वहीं लगेगी.
फैक्ट्री भी तो लगेगी. अगर आप कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर करना है तभी आपको रियल एस्टेट चाहिए.
डोंट यू थिंक दैट इज व्हाई कोई कितना भी बड़ा इन्वेस्टर इन द सेंस कोई कितना भी बड़ा इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हो, बिजनेसमैन हो या कॉर्पोरेट हॉन्चो हो, हर एक को रियल एस्टेट में एक पीस चाहिए.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, till a great extent, when you are making money in any business that you are in, right, and you have some extra cash flow that you can kind of invest anywhere, either you invest in stocks or you invest in real estate or maybe you invest in gold or say Bitcoin. right? that is something
अभी बिटकॉइन कोई भी नहीं कर रहा.
हाँ, exactly. That was something that was going on.
अभी भी वजीर एक्स के जो 250 मिलियन उड़े हैं उसके बाद मुझे नहीं लगता कोई करेगा.
हाँ, but if you see the pricing of Bitcoin, it's at a peak in terms of the pricing, right? I believe it's at about $70,000 dollars USD per piece, right? Now that's one of the highest pricings. I think the maximum it went to was 75 to 80,000. So it's still at top. It keeps on fluctuating because it a lot of time follows inflation. It follows the US markets and all that. But it's at peak. But compared to the point, so like major areas of investments, either people invest in stocks or they invest in real estate, right? There are other modes also.
Maximum.
These are the maximum areas.
Yeah.
So when you have extra cash flow and you want to make money and you want to put it somewhere where you could have an appreciating, asset or something, then you invest in real estate. That is why somewhere someone will come across real estate every area of their life.
Now you must be having friends, both in Delhi, and you must have made some friends in Canada as well, and you must be having some industry friends as well. अब जो लोग रियल एस्टेट से नहीं है वो पर्सनली आके एडवाइस नहीं लेते आपसे कि कहाँ पे पैसे ज़्यादा बनेंगे, कहाँ लगा दूँ? Do they talk to you or your family around real estate?
They talk, but if they talk to me, about real estate, then I would want them to be a part of
AIPL.
So I won't give them an advice that you should invest somewhere there in that asset.
नहीं, अगर कोई एसेट सच्ची में अच्छा तो नहीं बोलोगे आप?
See, firstly, with my friends and families and all that, right? I essentially refrain from talking about real estate. I try to ask more about their own industry because that is how I feel you get to learn more about the different industries as well. And a lot of times, what happens is that something which is not directly related to your own industry, you get to learn from them, like whatever they are following in their own industry. Could be the manufacturing process, could be the SOPs, could be their marketing, whatever. And sometimes you get to connect somewhere with your own industry, and maybe you can use those ideas in your industry as well.
Okay.
So that is why I essentially try to know more about their own areas of business, so that what I can pick up from there and use it in my own industry and try to make good out of it.
I'm happy to know that a real estate developer is open to feedback and so much learning, because I think 7-8 times you mentioned that I want to learn from other industries. Acha, coming back to your friend circle, now you're saying you will only advise them to invest in AIPL. क्या ये भी reason हो सकता है कि they might be talking less to you about real estate?
See, why I said that was because the reason that the way that we are trying to do things, in terms of our development and all that, I want to make sure that if I am suggesting something to someone,
you can back it.
Exactly, I can back it. I always want to make sure that they are in safe hands.
So for you, it is like I have control over it. So this advice I can 100% back.
Exactly. So that they also know that this is something that we are doing in the back end, right? This is something that we are trying to develop. This is our overall experience and all that. That is why we kind of try to give that advice as well, because we know that they will be able to trust us and we will be able to deliver what they essentially are asking for.
Wow.
That is why we are there in different asset classes, so that they also have an option. If you want to be investing in commercial, you can invest with us. If you want to invest in residential, you can invest with us. You want to invest here. Like we have a lot of people who, with their eyes closed, they just say that, if you're launching a product, just give me a piece in it. I don't want to know what location. I don't know.
You have a lot of those people.
We have a lot of those people. And that I feel can only come with the trust of deliveries.
Of many, many years.
And that, again, that approachable aspect. That we are not running away from anything.
Okay.
There a lot of times, there would be some things that you won't be happy about, but still we're there. We'll make sure that we're always there for you, and we try to give the best developments. A lot of times we have this thing that goes on with us, that we try to keep on bettering the product. एक होता है कि आज हमने conceptualize करा, we got the approvals, we start developing, and then we forget about it, right? But nahin, when we are developing also, We keep on thinking how to make it better. Is there any possibility to make it better? Could be aesthetically, could be maybe something with the landscape, could be whatever, right? So that is something that we try to do.
That we've seen with Business Club as well.
That exactly.
Brochure kuch tha, but the real thing was much better.
Exactly. So that is our goal. That if we are showing you 20, we would like to try to deliver to 21, right? But we won't like to
come to 19.
Come to 19 or 18 or 17. You know.
Yeah.
Be it, I don't know if the project will be profitable or not. But जो दिखाया है वो will try to give you that same product.
मेरी एक बार दलजीत जी से बात हुई थी. And I went to him and I told him, I said, you putting extra money in this product, ये सब क्यों लगा रहे हो, इसका कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, मत करो, why you going overboard? I was just suggesting it to him. तो he said, विपिन, जिस दिन तू मुझे ये बोलेगा ना कि मैं प्रोडक्ट की क्वालिटी कम कर दूँ, I would rather not do real estate.
Right.
बोलता है मेरा पैशन ही यही है, मुझे इस पे पैसे खर्चने से कोई नहीं रोक सकता.
Absolutely.
कि मैं प्रोडक्ट को कैसे बेटर करूँ, in whichever way I want to.
Exactly.
So that is with all of you?
Now it has come with me.
Okay.
Initially, I used to have a lot of fights over this. Right?
अच्छा.
Because of the reason that...
You used to say कि cost cutting कर लो,
नहीं, cost cutting नहीं. Whatever you are essentially saying, you have to deliver that. Right?
हाँ, उससे overboard मत जाओ.
Exactly. To also make sure that you're not overspending, you're not doing all those things. Maybe let's start focusing on a new product as well. Right? But
now,
because of that mindset that I have always gained from my family, is that keep on bettering the same product, because if you take care of your current product, you will get those kind of people who will be happy to without thinking twice, they'll be happy to invest with you in your second product.
From what I know of, and my statistics could be little off, any product you launch, first 10-15% is taken by your regular investors.
Till a great extent.
Without even asking.
Absolutely. And we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, and that is the trust that has been built. And that is what that betterment part kind of comes in, right? Where we try to keep on giving more to the product on how that end consumer is going to use it, so that they kind of have that kind of a trust,
Now, do you have anything in your head where you say ki, now that I've started or given my life to this, that's what I'm hearing, ki you're here to stay, koi और distraction नहीं है, real estate is my life. तो do you have anything in your mind कि मेरे को ना ऐसा एक mark छोड़ना है, by the time you'll spend 40-50 years in this trade, कि मेरे को कुछ ऐसा mark छोड़ना है real estate में. Do you have anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that would be in terms of the uniformity of the experience of development.
Okay.
There would be a lot of developments based on the location that we'll be launching, the kind of price point that we'll be touching, the kind of target market that we'll be having, right? But one thing that we essentially want to follow is that if you are at a development, that is a goal. See, that's our goal. I don't know how will we do it, but we want to have this kind of a experience where even if you enter a development, if you don't see the logo on top, whatever
you would
logo
say it is AIPL.
It is AIPL. That is our goal.
Okay.
That I don't feel is going to happen with only one asset at a certain level or a certain area, but that is something which will be an overall experience of entering an asset, experiencing the landscape, experiencing the interiors, going to your office or whatever development it is, right? That is something that our goal is. That would be our biggest achievement. That whatever asset that you'll be kind of going to of AIPL, you'll know that it's an AIPL asset without seeing what logo is it on top. That is our goal, that we are essentially envisioning.
Got it. One more question, very important question. वो investors के दिमाग में हमेशा चलता है, या जो भी home buyers होते हैं उनके दिमाग में चलता है कि एक डेवलपर का क्या रोल होता है एक इन्वेस्टर के पैसे अप्रिशिएट कराने में, प्रोडक्ट के अलावा. प्रोडक्ट की तो आपका फोकस है ही, उसके अलावा एक इन्वेस्टर का क्या रोल, एक डेवलपर का क्या रोल है कि उसके इन्वेस्टर पैसे कमाए?
I would say if you are essentially say buying into depends on the product, right? If you are buying into a high street project, right? There as a developer, till a great extent, we have to make sure that firstly, whatever we are showcasing, we're delivering, right? In terms of the benchmark of the pricing as well, we stay strong on the pricing.
Okay.
We don't sell financial schemes, right? You focus on your the product that you are delivering.
फाइनेंशियल स्कीम का क्या मतलब है?
Financial scheme from a perspective that, see, when you are essentially
24% रिटर्न,
exactly.
12% वो.
When you are investing into a real estate development, right? Till a great extent, you are actually thinking that my project is going to appreciate. That is why you essentially
invest
in real estate. And आज real estate is anyway something which is a long term thing, right? वो कल को चीज appreciate होगी in most of the cases. आज maybe you launch it at a certain price, maybe it didn't have a traction, or maybe it had traction, maybe there was the growth was kind of limited. But tomorrow, with the great population that we have in India, there is expansion going to happen everywhere.
Yeah.
When you have to fit in 1.4 billion people, in this country.
1.5 now.
1.5 now, right? When you have to fit in those many people, you need those many spaces to live.
Yes.
You need those many spaces
Offices.
to shop. You need those many spaces to,
cinemas and everything.
Exactly. So now, considering that as well, real estate, if someone is investing into real estate, they're looking at a long-term thing, long-term goal, and also they're investing in their asset for appreciation. So somewhere other than the product, we also try to maintain our pricing, so that if someone is investing in that product, they know that my price is going to appreciate.
So you mean to say कि आज अगर कोई चीज आपने 1 करोड़ की लॉन्च की, ऐसे नहीं करोगे कि उसको 6 महीने बाद 90 की बेच रहे हो.
Exactly. We won't try to undersell.
Yeah.
And that is how the product aspect also comes in. When you are trying to deliver a good product, then people have that confidence. People will pay up. People will have the confidence that my product will appreciate.
You mean to say developers के लिए better ये है कि वो एक चाहे थोड़ा 5% नीचे लॉन्च करें, फिर और धीरे धीरे increase करते रहे.
Absolutely.
That way I think an investor will have more confidence.
Absolutely. Plus it has to be, exactly. So it has to be an uptick thing. बहुत बार ये भी transactions होती है that people come in that I'll give you money right now, but you give me this much discount. Now that is where you have to be strong, and that is where you have to make sure that whatever pricing that you have been able to establish till now, what is your percentage that you could deviate from there? You cannot deviate, say 15%, 20% and everything like that, because that is where you have to protect the people who have invested with you already. Because when they were investing with you, you were able to commit to them that this is the greatest product in the world. It is going to have this, it is going to have that, you're going to have this kind of appreciation. So somewhere they had that confidence and they're trusting you, right? Now we also have to make sure that their interests are taken care of and regarded. So if tomorrow you undersell, then essentially going back on your word and you're going back on your product.
Perfect.
And that way your confidence level essentially starts going down. That maybe is the product right? Is the location right? सोच लेता हूँ फिर से.
तो आगे की payments would
Exactly. And then what happens is that you somewhere created that fear, which is essentially not relevant
real
or
fear,
direct. Exactly. It might not be
sentiment
real.
खराब हो गया.
Exactly. Because that person will talk to the second person, second will talk to the third. So what happens is that whatever your first-hand experience was, by the time or that 10th person gets to know, it's diluted.
Correct.
It's diluted till a great extent.
Correct.
And that is how I feel the markets also work in all the industries.
Yeah.
In stock market also, even in real estate, that your sentiment plays a big role. What is the market feeling? And that either takes it up or takes it down. Somewhere the fundamentals go for a toss, right? Maybe a lot of times this happens, companies fundamentally very strong. But if you see the stock price, it's nothing.
Very, very low.
It's very low.
Because the sentiment, they were not able to create a sentiment.
Exactly. And on the other hand, there is a company which has no profit, in losses like we see in tech also. But the sentiment is so high that if you see the stock price, you can see the market cap.
Tech में ही हो सकता है.
Exactly. And if you see the market cap, it's exponentially high. So I feel that till a great extent that sentiment aspect also comes in. But if you're strong with your fundamentals, then it can be a good journey for you.
Now, real estate as a career, what will you advise? When to enter? And मतलब somebody who's completing their graduation or masters, कब enter करना चाहिए, क्या enter करना चाहिए, developer side जाना चाहिए, channel side जाना चाहिए, what is the income, this thing? Would you suggest people to come up front and join?
Absolutely. Okay. In every developing economy around the world, right, real estate plays a big role in a developing economy, right?
Like ours.
Like ours, which is essentially the development is going to happen over the many years that are kind of going to come, right? Real estate plays a big part in it, and essentially you're creating something real, right? You actually get to when you buy a land today, you know, as a developer, when you see today, it's a barren land, right? But if you see it 4 years down the line,
it's a beautiful building.
It's a beautiful building. Looks, and you actually, after 4-5 years, whatever you have developed, you actually feel so happy and passionate about that.
कि ये मैंने बनाई थी.
कि मैंने बनाई है.
हाँ.
And when you actually see the pictures, like that's what I do. Like whenever, whatever project that I'm getting involved in, right? I would want to take those pictures in my phone. Ki this is what it looks right now, right? And over these years, what actually gets developed, you actually feel so happy that this is something that you created. You know, this is something that you created now is going to live forever. You will not be here forever, but this will exist here. So you created a mark.
Yeah.
So that is why I feel that real estate is a very important thing. And I feel that one thing which is, as a developer, which is very important for all our channel partners also and everyone, that whatever we are trying to build, whatever information is going directly to the customer at the end of the day, we essentially are trying to make sure that the right communication
is going.
The right communication is going. Be it the pricing, be it the payment plan, because it is our duty as developers, as channel partners, as everyone together, that we communicate the right thing to the customer. Because real estate, still we keep on we need to kind of keep on keep on building on that trust. Because that is something which is still lacking. It has improved till a great extent, but every day is a fight. Right, and we need to kind of keep on increasing our trust.
That's the reason I started this podcast.
Right.
Because somebody told me कि आप लोगों ने ना इंटरनेट को अब्यूज कर दिया.
Right.
रियल एस्टेट डेवलपर्स ने और चैनल पार्टनर्स ने आप लोगों ने अब्यूज कर दिया. एंड मेरा ये स्टार्ट करने का रीज़न ही ये था टू ब्रिंग पीपल इन फ्रॉम रियल एस्टेट, वेदर द डेवलपर साइड, चैनल साइड, इंटीरियर साइड, हर तरफ से टू शो कि हम लोग बनाते हैं.
Exactly.
इस धरती पे जो चीज़ आप कंज्यूम करते हो, हम लोग उसको बनाते हैं, डिलीवर करते हैं.
Exactly. So it is very important for us to make sure that एक जो consumer को information जा रही है ना, that is going in the right manner. Be whatever kind of information.
So your message is, if somebody wants to come into real estate as a career, whether as a developer, working with a developer or a channel partner, this is the thought they need to have.
Absolutely. If you're a developer,
नहीं तो ज़्यादातर तो लोग यही सोचते हैं कि इतने पैसे बन जाएंगे.
Exactly. So you think if you're a developer, know the product that you're delivering. If you're a channel partner, know the product that you're selling. Know about each and everything. Because आज की date में a lot of times, the internet is smarter than everyone.
Yes.
Like if as a consumer also, like this is something that I also face, like not in real estate, but if I'm going to buy anything, I probably would know more about that product than the salesperson.
Salesperson over there.
वो मेरे को 5 चीजें बताएगा, मैं उसको 10 बता दूंगा. If you have done the research, because internet is so strong.
मैं एक कार की ट्रायल ले रहा था. I won't name the brand, and the person was sitting with me. I was taking the trial. जो साथ में बैठा हुआ था, तो मैंने उसको बोला कुछ बताओ यार, तुम इतनी देर से मैं गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ, तुम तो कुछ बता रहे. बोलता सर आपने सब कुछ सर्च तो करके आए होगे, मैं आपको क्या बताऊँगा. Then I had to tell him नहीं I am not one of those. तो but he was used to it. He said हमारे को कुछ बताने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, कस्टमर को सब पता है.
Right. Exactly. So somewhere that is also because of the reason that they sometimes are not sure that जो मेरे को ये प्रोडक्ट बेच रहा है उसको इन्फॉर्मेशन है नहीं है. क्योंकि उसने तो बेचना है, वो तो कुछ भी बोल देगा.
हाँ, तो इसलिए वो खुद स्टडी करके आते हैं.
Exactly. So they also come. So so that is what
our responsibility.
Our responsibility is that you pick up from that experience, and we always make sure, or we like as an industry, I'm not saying as AIPL, but we all of us, right, that we know the product properly, so that any customer has any question, you should know the answer and the right answer. Not कि हमें
अपने पास से बना के बोल दिया.
Exactly. And that is the channel partner also appreciates, developer also appreciates, customer also appreciates.
No, it is, as a channel partner, it's our responsibility as well that we know the product. And if you don't know anything, we better find out about it before selling it.
Exactly. And I feel that till a great extent, that also creates a lot of confidence in the consumer, the customer. The way that you will be able to tell them the product, be it a channel partner or whoever it is, the way that you will communicate.
तो इन्वेस्टर्स को इसका मतलब इंटरव्यू लेना चाहिए पहले चैनल पार्टनर, क्योंकि उसको प्रोडक्ट के बारे में इतना पता है.
or absolutely, and regular trainings.
हाँ.
Regular trainings, because we always consider that channel partners are a family, right?
Yeah.
They we all grow together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a we hand in hand are with each other. So it is our duty as well that we keep on training them
on कि अब क्या update हो रहा है, अब क्या
regular
update हो रहा है,
basis.
on a
Exactly.
regular basis.
On a regular basis.
So that they get to know about your psyche and where it is going and where the...
Exactly. Like that dilution part that I was telling.
हाँ.
कि you planned something, but by the time you tell your team, it got diluted.
हाँ.
By the time that team said आगे, that got diluted. By the time that it reaches the consumer, वो बहुत dilution हो चुकी है.
आपको एक honest चीज़ बताता हूँ. You know, with your coming in, Shamsheer, to AIPL's business in India and Ishan being here already.
Yeah.
With that, the confidence of investors and the confidence of the market in your brand has grown.
That's great to know.
And that the next generation is also coming in.
Right.
Okay. हो सकता है आपके प्लान पहले से हो, बट एक्चुअली जब वो होता है ना,
Right.
तो फिर मार्केट वो देखती है
Right.
कि सेकेंड जनरेशन आ गई, अब थर्ड जनरेशन आ गई.
Right.
And that's why I'm a big fan of businesses which are over second, third, fourth, fifth generations.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And that is what we tell anyone in our organization as well. Any new person who joins or whatever. Ki you see all the assets of AIPL. So we have a process of an onboarding process, right?
सबको दिखाते हो आप?
हम सबको दिखाते हैं. So they have to go, be it wherever.
पंजाब भी जाते हो गुड़गांव से?
Sometimes, but we tell them, because the idea is like I was telling, right, the sharing of best practices. So everyone is coming from their own experiences. So we always want to make sure that they keep on sharing information so that whatever best is applied there, whatever best is applied here. Now they have an onboarding process, right, where one day they just see AIPL assets. They'll see a residential asset. They'll see a retail asset. They'll see a offices asset, right? The only direction that is given is that this is the benchmark. ये तो करना ही है,
इससे ऊपर करना है.
That is a clear instruction for everyone. So we have these orientation meetings that we have on a monthly basis for all the new joinees of the organization. ये देखाओ, ये हमारी जो legacy है of last 33 years. This is what we have developed.
अब इससे ऊपर
करना है.
I think that's where you're headed.
That's where our goal is. We are trying to be there, and I feel that teams also support when they know that this is a clear thing and this is our benchmark. So it's a joint effort. So we all can kind of go there.
Now, one more question, that anybody who's coming up new, कोई नया डेवलपर बनना चाह रहा है, तो उसके लिए आपको क्या एडवाइस होगी कि क्या चैलेंजेस आते हैं? जैसे आपको एज अ डेवलपर काफ़ी चैलेंजेस आते होंगे, तो what are those challenges and what will be your advice to an upcoming developer?
So see, from that perspective, I would say that whatever I've learned over these last couple of years, as I was mentioning about the product, right? So the first thing I would say is finding the right location, right, for your product, and making sure that whatever you are finding the location for is apt for it. Not everything works everywhere.
Okay.
Right? So you have to make sure that if you are launching a residential product, what is the target market? What is the target? Like you need to have like a proper checklist for your analysis that needs to be done. It's not like tomorrow I just go buy land and launch anything everywhere.
कुछ भी जो चल रहा है वो कर दिया, ऐसे नहीं.
You need to first analyze properly that what is my land parcel that I'm targeting, what is the size, what is the target market going to be like, target market की क्या preferences होती है, what is their pocket size, whatever we are trying to make, what kind of a catchment can go there, what kind of facilities are kind of taking us there. I feel that is the first point to start off with. Second is also making sure that you have the right consultants that you work along with, who understand your vision. Not a lot of times this happens that you pick up 5 big names of the industry, this big architect, this big landscape consultant and all that, and they will
mostly लोग यही सोचते हैं कि इनको ले आओ तो हो जाएगा.
हाँ, तब भी हो जाएगा. I feel that till a great extent
वो आप ही का input होता है.
Exactly. Plus at the same time you need to make sure that you bring the right consultant for the right product also, because not everyone has an expertise in everything. Someone has a great expertise in, say, selling a 5 crore apartment. Someone has a great experience. Maybe that 5 crore apartment guy cannot make a product which is for 50 lakhs because उसकी requirement ही अलग है.
अलग है.
उसका जो thought process है वो अलग है. So you have to think from that perspective.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. एक जो 50 lakhs वाला apartment ले रहा है, घर ले रहा है, उसकी जो एक daily की requirement है, needs है, वो एक अलग है.
अलग है.
जो एक 5 करोड़ का apartment ले रहा है उसकी अलग है. So you also have to make sure that with your analysis as well, the kind of consultants that you bring in, they understand from that mindset. You know, कि मेरा जो end में यहाँ पे जो बंदा रहेगा यहाँ पे या shopping करने आएगा, उसको क्या चाहिए? So from that perspective, I feel it's a great requirement to also make sure, like this is something like a prerequisite to also make sure that you have the right consultants, you know, in place as well.
Basically, planning और study ज़्यादा करनी चाहिए, rather than
100%.
focusing on कि पैसे कितने बनेंगे.
100%. Exactly.
जो mostly reason है लोगों को development.
That is, I feel, is a byproduct.
पैसे तो बन ही जाएंगे.
पैसे बन जाएंगे. It's a byproduct. If you do something, your primary, you know, your product and your analysis, if that is right, that will follow. Rather than the other way around, you know.
Now, last two questions.
Yeah.
Both personal questions. When you were in Canada, enjoying life, and you must have had a vision for your future. कि मैं ऐसे काम करूँगा, चाहे अपनी कंपनी में ही काम करूँगा और इसी बिजनेस को आगे ले जाऊँगा. एंड नाउ दैट यू आर वर्किंग हियर, सेम वैसे ही है जैसे सोचा था या फर्क है?
I would say same है.
अच्छा, सेम है.
Same है. Because the university that I was in, right, University of Toronto, they keep you under pressure.
अच्छा.
They keep you under pressure.
All the time.
The line that you said, na, enjoying life, that never happened. That never happened.
Okay.
Because they keep you under pressure at all times.
All times.
Because they want to make sure. So, unke na, like with these universities, not only University of Toronto, but like the top universities, right? Like University of Toronto, I believe is in top 20 in the world.
In the world.
Right.
Okay.
These organizations, these universities, right, the kind of content that they would be teaching in terms of the education, that probably will be the same with all the universities. It's not that कि वो आपको कुछ नया सिखाते हैं. हाँ. सिखाते वही हैं. तरीका अलग होता है.
अच्छा.
सिखाने का तरीका अलग होता है.
उसमें प्रेशर डालते हैं.
Exactly. उनके they have goals that if you have say 100 people in year 1 in this particular course, how to make it 45 when they go to
second year.
वो हमें जो 100 लोग हैं, they have goals.
कि छोड़ के चले हैं.
Exactly. It's set. They have to filter. These universities have a certain percentage of firstly the acceptance rate, right? And secondly, when you also get into that university, they keep on filtering. Okay. 100 say 45 say 25. Like that's how they wanna keep on advancing.
So they have set goals. Pressure.
Like even if you see averages in a lot of classes, you'll not find ki like in a lot of classes you have an average of say 90%. Your average is 45. But if you are at 45, you are an extraordinary student. It's
because
like
you survived all the pressure.
Because you've survived. Because everyone of that, you know, in that particular class is at a 45% level. Not because their IQ is low, but because the bar is set so high that you cannot get anything above 45. So unko pata hai that we have a set benchmark, right? If they get a kind of a threshold, right? If they get 45, hence they are in the top category.
अब वो प्रेशर जो है और यहाँ पे सेम है. अब
सेम है because I feel that I never wanted to enter business to have fun. That was never my intent, right? And I don't feel it that way also. I feel that if you are trying to create something in life, you have to suffer. You have to. Whatever industry you're in, it's not only real estate, right? Whatever industry you're in, you have to suffer and you have to become obsessed with it. That is what I feel. If that obsession is not there and if you are not willing to suffer, then you should not build a business. Yeah. I feel. Or build a big business. Or have a big vision. Exactly. Yeah. There is a different kind of a perspective as well. That if you want to have like a good life, you know, have a work-life balance and your day at this particular hour. तो job कर लो. More than that, I would say, even in businesses, it depends on what is your goal. You know, what is your goal? In jobs also, a lot of them this happens that we have like a lot of team members who are so obsessed with their work that they don't care कि it's 5 p.m. or it's 6 p.m. they would
वो
end up
करते
working
रहेंगे
at
काम.
9 p.m., 10 p.m. because they want to make sure that whatever they have been, the responsibility that they've been given, they meet those responsibilities. So that
Yeah.
also happens in a job. But I feel that if you're in business, if you want to actually make an impact, you can be in business and still end your day at 5.
Yeah.
Right. And have a great work-life balance. And
Now this is part of your work and we are recording at 9:30
exactly.
at night.
At night, exactly. So if you are trying to create something, then you have to suffer. That's what I feel. And I actually like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I enjoy
Pressure
it.
वहाँ भी था, pressure यहाँ भी है.
Pressure यहाँ पे भी है. So that's what I was like mentioning, right? Now those universities, they don't teach you anything extra, but they teach you how to take the pressure in the world.
Yeah.
When you advance out of the university culture, when you are with your friends all the time and studying in this, when you don't have like a lot of responsibilities, they keep you under pressure because a lot of things are not relevant today.
Yeah.
Whatever I studied in university,
वो ज़रूरी नहीं है
it's not
काम
like
आएगा.
I'm applying those formulas in my classroom, sorry,
Yeah.
in my cabin or with my meeting rooms. But they at least taught you how to think.
Think.
कि अगर एक problem निकल के आई है, you have two solutions, right? One or two ways to look at it. One is that I keep on worrying about the problem, or I spend more time on finding the solution than worrying on the problem.
Yeah.
You should know the problem so that tomorrow you don't make the same mistake.
Same mistake again.
But focus more on the solution.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel, that a good education, now that could be in wherever, it also happens in India, right? It's not that you have to go to Canada to have a good education and to be of that kind of a caliber, whatever it is, right? But I feel that when you are under pressure, that teaches you a lot about life.
A lot about life.
And that is what I enjoyed today also, in terms of vacation. If I try to go out more than 7 days, I start having anxiety.
You have to come back and work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to come back because I feel that after one point, your mind, when it's idle, it feels useless.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Maybe that is why you're a developer.
Exactly. And in our real estate business, especially in India, it always keeps you on toes.
हमेशा pressure में होते हो.
हर रोज. There's always firefighting happening every day. So it always keeps you on your toes anyways.
Once one of my friends, he used to always say कि तेरी life बहुत अच्छी है. Realtors की तो life बड़ी easy होती है. तुम तो बस एक phone करते हो, पैसे बन जाते हैं. So I used to keep telling him, एक काम कर तू ना किसी दिन मेरे साथ शैडो कर ले.
Right.
तो शैडो क्या मतलब मेरे साथ रहे तू 1-2 दिन. तो एक दिन वो आ गया एंड ही वॉज विद मी. 3-3:30 बजे दोपहर को, जून के महीने में, एक साइट पे थे हम. तो मैं कस्टमर को एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ. जब मैं एक्सप्लेन करके हटा, मैंने पीछे देखा तो वो था ही नहीं. मैंने उसको फ़ोन किया, उसने फ़ोन नहीं उठाया. रात को 8:30 बजे उसका फ़ोन आया, तू कहाँ है? मैंने तू कहाँ है? तो 3 बजे से गया कहाँ पे? मेरे को बताया मेरे ड्राइवर ने कि तू चला गया था. बोलता है मैंने तेरा काम देख के थक गया. मेरे को तेरे को काम करते देख देख के थकान हो गई. और मैं 8:30 बजे इसलिए फ़ोन कर रहा हूँ चेक करने के लिए तू घर पहुँचा नहीं पहुँचा. मैं पहुँच ही रहा हूँ घर. बोलता मेरे भाई आगे से मैं कभी भी नहीं बोलूँगा कि रियल्टर्स की लाइफ ईजी होती.
ये तो अच्छा ब्लॉक नहीं करा. मैं तो बता ऐसे दूर ही रहे इससे.
Now final question to you. As a third generation developer, with a lot of your brothers, your father, uncle, everybody in the business, do you have any pressure of legacy? Or you're inspired by it?
I would say inspired, but at the same time, under pressure to deliver that inspiration also in the future.
Yeah.
So whatever I was telling about our teams and orientation and all that, it also applies to us, to me.
To you.
That is something that is my benchmark as well. Because in that journey of 33 years, that is our for us as the third generation as well. That is our benchmark as well.
Yeah.
कि वो तो करना ही है.
वो तो करना ही है.
So whatever we are telling our,
क्या करना
exactly. So whatever we are telling our teams, it also applies to us. That is the fun. That is the fun because then you can correlate with them and they can correlate with you. That we are all in this journey together.
Yeah. Now not only 500 people of AIPL know this. Now after this podcast, everybody would know that that's your benchmark.
Absolutely. And that is the goal.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shamsheer. Thank you. It was a great podcast and all the best to you to fulfill the legacy, to surpass it and create a new one.
Well, thank you for having me today, and it's been a great discussion together. Thank you so much.